Sir Cameron Mackintosh.
That has been a huge success, Les Miserables, beyond my wildest dreams. I'm told that we're approaching nearly 60 million people have seen it around the world. It seems to work whether it's done by marvellous students in schools or in London or Broadway, where it's now and it's just about to have its 25th birthday. And at this moment I'm planning 8 new productions to run around the world of the new version, which I've staged for the 25th anniversary. It's extraordinary. I can't believe it.
How many languages has it been translated into?
30, 35 languages, and keeps going into new languages.
With a backdrop of revolution, does it ever strike you as odd that here it is, not exactly a cuddly musical, but it's a musical going all around the world? Is there an odd irony there?
Well, I mean, of course, the revolution in Les Miserables is not the French Revolution of the late 1800s. It's actually a counter-revolution of students, and I think, in a way, it always remains contemporary. I mean, look, in the last few days, we've just seen terrible fighting and rioting in Bangkok. There's never a place in the world, sadly, because of the way humanity is, that the passions and the dreams of liberty and the story of Jean Valjean's struggle for the spirit of man isn't current. I think the characters Hugo drew are so contemporary in every generation and every country. You see the same people, and that's why schools are able to do it as well as professionals, and that's what makes it an eternal musical.
Now, it's 25 years old this year, and you're doing a few things to celebrate that, aren't you?
Well, this year, I mean, I thought, what can I do for the 25th anniversary of this extraordinary show? And I thought the best thing that I could do was actually come up with a completely new show with new direction, new sets, new costume, and indeed working with Claude Michel Schoenberg, completely new orchestrations for the show, and do something that refreshed it and treated it like a brand new piece. And of course we opened last November at the Millennium Theatre in Cardiff with Gareth and John as 2 of our great stars, and it's been the most phenomenal success. We've sold every single seat, and in fact the only place now you can see it in this country is we've got a few seats left in Southampton, and we've got a few seats for the Barbican season of only 20 performances, which is this October, September-October. We're going to have 2 full-length versions, the original and the new production, at the Barbican. Plus, I'm about to announce in the next couple of weeks an extraordinary concert with over 300 people, which hopefully will be at least as good as the one I did at the Albert Hall, which was so memorable, at a venue that we will announce soon. And I think it's going to be a marvellous, marvellous night for all the people who have made Les Miserables such an enormous success.
Any seats left in Paris?
The last seats are flying out of Paris, so I mean, I think you can still get onto the Eurostar, get a few seats in Paris. And yes, you know, funnily enough, we're going to Paris. We're opening in Paris in a week's time, and it'll actually be 30 years since the original Palais des Sports production, which is the one I didn't see, but I listened to the recording, and that was the one that inspired me to do the show with Trevor Nunn and John Caird at the Barbican. And it's going to be an incredibly exciting night for all of us.
Gareth Cates, most people will know you through Pop Idol, but you've turned away from pop now, haven't you? Now, why is that?
Well, I haven't turned away fully from being a recording artist. It's something I'd hopefully like to eventually return to. However, musical theatre is something I've always wanted to do and get involved in. And I was asked a little while ago by Lord Lloyd Webber, Andrew, he asked me to play the role of Joseph, and it's been great ever since. I have a lot to owe Joseph. It was that very musical that I first got into music at the age of 8. I played Joseph in school, and as a stammerer, I was very shy and not much confidence at all. And it's through that music and learning I could sing gave me the confidence, and finally I found a release in life. I could express myself.
So you've been supported by a lord, and also now a Knight of the Realm. Sir Cameron Mackintosh has asked you to be on the tour.
Absolutely. I'm currently playing Marius in the 25th anniversary of Les Mis. It's a world tour, and we've been on the road now for 6 months. Just finished in Edinburgh. We travelled to Paris on Tuesday. We're there for 6 weeks before returning back to the UK.
Just in terms of Friday night is music night and doing extracts from musicals, how difficult is that to do, to suddenly throw yourself into what could be the middle of a musical or the end or the beginning and actually get all that emotion into that song.
Yes, it's hard just to switch on the emotion. The Les Mis stuff I think I'll find a lot easier just because I'm doing it 8 times a week right now. Yeah, you find the emotion from somewhere, particularly when you're backed by such a huge and amazing orchestra. You can't help but become emotionally attached, you know.
Do you think the French audiences will be any different? Will they have any different expectations, do you think?
Sure. Us as an English cast taking the play over to perform in front of a French audience, where the original novel by Victor Hugo is such an important part of French culture. And so therefore, us playing it to them will be quite weird, I'm sure. However, by the sound of things, the French audience are really looking forward to it, and ticket sales are good. So we're just looking forward to taking it into a different country where this piece is very iconic.
It seems that wherever Les Mis goes, the ticket sales are brilliant, really, isn't it? All over the world.
It's sold out, and it's incredible to be a part of that. The music is just fantastic, and being part of a production that we've created. The first day of rehearsals we all arrived. The first thing they said, this production will be nothing like the original. And for the next, I think, 5 weeks we rehearsed. We created it. I created my own role as Marius, and nothing was planned. They had ideas of the set and the lighting, but the actual acting and the scenes was entirely up to us as actors. And so we tried out things worked, things didn't work, so we scrapped things and moved on. I'm quite proud, and I'm sure the rest of the cast are proud.
John Owen-Jones, tell me a little bit about how you got started in musicals.
I got started in musicals when I was 15. I'd done a couple of school plays, and I joined a local youth theatre because a friend of mine told me that was a great way to meet girls. And I did a production of West Side Story.
And was it a good place to meet girls?
It was a great place to meet girls, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
But I didn't think I could sing until we did like a cabaret review, and I was singing in the ensemble, and the director came up and heard me sing and said, hang on, you better come up the front and have a solo number. And I haven't really looked back since. You know, I went out on stage, sang, audience loved it. I thought, well, this could be for me. Went to drama school, and here I am.
And you've had the most incredible connection with Les Mis, haven't you?
Indeed I have, yeah. I mean, when I first heard it, I didn't even like it. It was not
really?
ironic. And now I've been involved with the show for over 15 years. So I was involved in the 10th anniversary, the 20th, the 21st, and this year, of course, the 25th anniversary. And
you've been voted the best Valjean ever and the best Les Mis performer ever, I think, haven't you?
I have. And
that's extraordinary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Though, you know, at the end of the day, if my mother's going to vote for me thousands of times, that's going to happen, you know.
Those good old Welsh valleys, eh?
Yeah, God bless her. She's a great supporter. My mother and father, they've looked after me, you know.
And so how's the tour been going?
Well, the tour, the 25th anniversary tour, has been an immense success. I mean, we've sold out everywhere. You know, it's very difficult to get tickets for my family. They just disappear. They're really, really hard to come by. But it's a very exciting, fresh new take on the show. It's a brand new design, you know, new costumes, new arrangements, whole new orchestration. And the cast, one of the most talented I've ever worked with, and it's got to be one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Has Cameron got involved with this production?
Oh, very much. He's very much a hands-on producer, you know. He does like to get involved from the early stages in rehearsal. A lot of the ideas you see in this production are his, you know. Yeah, over the 25 years of seeing it performed everywhere in every language, he knows this piece better than anyone else, probably better even than the authors themselves. I mean, Cameron's got the Midas touch. He knows if something isn't right. He doesn't necessarily know how to fix it, but he knows it's wrong. That's why Les Mis works, because he can tell you what's wrong with what you're doing, but he doesn't know how to fix it. So that's why he employs people like me, and Gareth Gates, and directors and stuff to actually mould the piece to what he wants. It makes him sound quite autocratic, and he's not really. He's very open to ideas and things like that, you know. In fact, I had a good 45-minute rehearsal with him once, just on one number, you know, and you'd never get any other producer doing that.